Hi guys, it's Ellen Brock, freelance editor. Today I want to talk about vision. Now, it's really hard to properly execute your vision for the novel that you're writing. Essentially, there are two problems that I see pretty frequently. The first is that the writer did not have a vision for the first draft. So this is sort of what people will sometimes refer to as an exploratory draft, where the writer sort of discovered the purpose behind the novel and discovered what they wanted for the character and what they wanted to happen more towards the end or at some point during the writing process, which means a lot of the things that they included in this first draft are extraneous or don't support the vision. The second problem is that the writer knew the vision but lost track of the vision in the writing process because the story went in a way that they didn't expect, or they followed a plot line that wasn't what they originally intended, or the characters just came across different from what they originally had planned. There are lots of reasons why you can lose sight of your vision in either situation. So the most important thing, if you feel like you've lost sight of your vision, is to establish what your vision is. And I recommend doing this in the simplest terms, and there's no rhyme or reason or rule for how you have to do this. Just do it whatever way feels right to you. I think it's easiest to just fill in the blank of, this is a story about blank, and make it super simple, but make it the core of the story. What is it that was most important to you? What was it that drove you to write this story in the first place? So you might say, this is a story about friendship, and that means friendship was the most important element of the story to you. Or it could be, this is a story that's really scary, and the important thing to you is that you wanted to write the story that was really, really scary. So figure out what it is that you wanted to say with this story and what your original vision is, or what the vision is that you established as you wrote the first draft. So once you have that written out, I recommend that you put it on a Post-it note and put it on your wall, because I think it would be really helpful to reference that frequently through the writing process as well as through the editing process. So everything that happens in the story should facilitate your goal with the story. So if you want to write a story that's really, really scary, and unfortunately you followed this plot line with this character who doesn't really do anything or is having trouble at work and not really a lot happens for a long time, then you will see very easily this is not supporting your vision. This isn't what you wanted to do. So if you can get your sentence, your very brief explanation of what you want the novel to achieve, you can compare it against all of the elements of your novel. And as you read the novel, assuming you have a draft or you have an outline, as you read through that, you can compare that to your goal and write out a list of areas where it's falling short. So if you wanted to write a book about someone who abandons their family, who just doesn't want to interact with them anymore, and it's the story of the consequences of doing that, and during the process of writing the story, you made the family just really likable and really nice, and it just became completely contrived. It just doesn't make sense anymore. Like, why would this person not want to be around this family that's really nice and cares about them and that they don't have any issue with? So then you know, okay, I have to solve this problem, and the main way to solve, or the easiest way to solve that problem, is to make the family less likable. Of course, solving these problems is sort of easier said than done, because maybe you actually do really like a lot of the elements that went into the parts of the novel that have derailed from your vision. It doesn't mean they're bad, because ultimately, when you're writing a novel, you are curating ideas that fit this book. It doesn't mean that your ideas are bad. So even though it could read really great, the chapters are just well written, and the characters are engaging and interesting and just fly off the page and feel totally real, it doesn't change the fact that it missed the point. You lost the vision. It doesn't make sense the way that it currently is written. So while it doesn't make it easier to let go of those words, it can help you find the words and the chapters and the scenes and the characters that you need to let go of, if you can figure out what your vision is for the novel and what it is that you wanted to do in the first place.